Millionaires, dollar millionaires. As a dollar millionaire, what do you need to have, or how do you even get there? Today we're going to be looking at this topic of being a dollar millionaire. Why do people aspire so much to be dollar millionaires? Of course, it's a good number to always aspire to get to, because there are not so few millionaires. By the way, there are so many millionaires. I don't want to say there are few millionaires. Actually, there are so many millionaires. In the US alone, there are over 22 million millionaires, and I mean dollar millionaires. So in that sense, I don't want to say that there are very few dollar millionaires, but still it's a good goal to aspire for, being a millionaire, because people think that when you get to that level, you're in a position to have some level of financial freedom and financial security. So it's still a good number, even though the inflation rate has really capped it up, or cut it down, and you'd actually think having $1 million actually won't help us much now, but still it's a good number to get to. Someone once said that getting to your first $1 million is difficult, but getting to the second one is inevitable. What he meant was that it's very difficult to strive and get to that $1 million mark, but getting the next one is quite easy, because then you will have learned to become someone who is in a position to actually invest and actually grow their money. Because for you to get to the dollar millionaire mark, you must have done certain things in a good way that puts you in that position to be able to leverage that money to get to the next level. So it also makes it easier in that you have a foundation. You have something that's supporting you. You are hoisted. It's like a ladder. So you already up there, so you can easily get to the next step, rather than you just starting off. You haven't even done the first step yet. That is the heavy lifting part. We call it the heavy lifting part. You're sacrificing, you're doing a lot of stuff to make sure that you save a lot of money and get to that first step. Then when you get to that first step, now you need to get to the second one. What this guy also said, I can't remember the name, was that he was telling people that it's not about being a millionaire. It's about the person you have to become for you to be a millionaire. That's a very important point. There are certain habits that you need to have for you to be a millionaire. And there are certain things you have to do that to be a millionaire. So it's about the person you need to become to be a millionaire. And now today we're just going to be looking at dollar millionaires. And who are they, research was done by Chris Hogan in the US. And he said that most of these dollar millionaires are people we live around, people we know, people we actually see working every single day. So they were not born with any silver spoon. They were not born with any privileges. They were born poor. They just worked in a professional position, or it doesn't matter whether it's professional or not, even blue-collar job. Actually, most of them are actually blue-collar jobs. So these people managed to work their way up the ladder, not because they were privileged, not because they were supported by someone, but because they decided to get to that stage. And today we want to look at some of the characteristics of these people as we aspire to get to that level. I'm not so far, I'm happy. Hopefully my assets very soon will get me to that mark. And I hope that if you're dreaming of getting to the same level, you're gonna be there soon as well. I wish you well. I really encourage you, and that's why I'm sharing this journey, so that when we get there, we can say, you know what, we made it. We made it. Let's talk about dollar millionaires, okay? And let's talk about that journey. What do you need to do? And these normal people that live around us, like where I live right now, everyone around me is a pound millionaire. These are all pound millionaires. They are way older people than me, but they are pound millionaires, and they're normal people driving normal cars, living in a good houses, of course, because they have the money. But then if you look at their lives, there's nothing extraordinary. There's nothing flashy. Because what Chris Hogan was saying is that people have a picture of a dollar millionaire. So you think of someone flashy with a nice car, Lamborghini, Ferrari, Bugatti, whatever. Someone so flashy and so luxurious and so grandiose, but that's not it. These are normal, everyday, hardworking people. So it means anyone can aspire to be at this level. Anyone can aspire to be a dollar millionaire. So how do you get there? How did these people manage to get to that status? Here at Ken's MoneyMatters, talk about the money mindset, how to make that money, how to enjoy that money, how to manage that money, how to invest that money, and how to assure yourself of a lifetime of income. Basically, financial freedom. So, millionaires, a study was done by Chris Hogan in the US, and he just came up with the 5 simple things that are going to put you on that path, and the characteristics of these people. So over 90% of them, at least, had the same characteristics. So nobody was born with a silver spoon amongst the people who are doing the research, or people who are interviewed. And the 5 things we're going to talk about are the things that actually make them millionaires. Number 1 is these people, they invest. So they invest their money. If you're someone who's saving in the bank, saving in some low place that's not going to help you. You have to invest your money consistently so it can work for you. So investing. You cannot save your money to a dollar millionaire mark. You can't. You can't save $1 million. You can do it, of course, in a lifetime, but it takes so much work and so much sacrifice that you won't actually have a life. Unless you are earning like so high. Of course, again, that's just the outliers. In normal circumstances whereby you're earning normal salaries, you will not save your way into $1 million. You have to invest the money. So they use different avenues to invest. Of course, they invest in stocks, they invest in bonds, they invest in businesses, they invest in real estate and all these things. The fact is they invest in their money and they use tax advantage accounts. So, for example, in the US, they'd be investing with things like Roth IRA and, different tax advantage accounts that could then help them achieve the best returns. But if you're in different countries, you have tax advantage accounts in those countries that are meant for retirees, that are meant for long-term investment, that are meant for people who are looking to, invest extra. There are tax incentives against these people. So if you want to get to that level, number one, you need to invest. So they invest. They take advantage of opportunities and invest. And in every country, even in Kenya, in the US, in the UK, we have different channels through which you can invest without paying so much taxes. Or if you're paying taxes, then probably you could find that you're paying it later when you're using the money, or you pay much less now and then you don't have to pay so much later, or you pay now and don't have to pay later. So there are different ways different countries do it so that you don't have to pay so much tax. But use these accounts, use these avenues to start investing and building wealth. The second thing is that they try to be out of debt. They try to get out of debt and stay out of debt. Very important. The other day I did a post on a number of people. There was a string, I think, on Twitter, which was showing how people take loans from Shylocks and how people have been conned. Someone says, hey, I took 300,000. After 4 years of paying this money every single month, I'm being told I have 600,000 to go. Someone says, hey, I bought a motorcycle. After 5 years of paying, you took back the motorcycle and I'm still left to pay over 300,000. While before you took the motorcycle, I had paid over 400,000. You've also auctioned the motorcycle and now you still want me to pay some more money. Someone says, hey, I bought this car. I've paid this much, but right now it's showing like I owe way more than the value of the car when I was buying it. I was seeing these cases, and these are just debt cases. These are horror cases of debt. And I tell people all the time, stay out of debt. If you want to build wealth, if you're not in a position to actually use debt effectively, stay out of it. Because you know what? It will hinder your progress or even bury you completely. So stay out of debt. Stay out of debt at least until you have the right knowledge and information how to use it, the right places to get it, and the right foundation such that you can actually fall back on something. Okay, I know there are people who take like high risk, they take debts and then they manage to succeed, but that's just a few people. You must have something that you can fall back on if things go wrong. I always say if you're taking a debt of 2 million and you have 10 million in the bank, that's fine, because then if everything goes wrong, you can as well just offset the debt, So there are people who are in positions to take debt. There are people who are not in a position to take any debt. So don't take it. And the most important thing is knowledge and literacy. If you have that knowledge to use it effectively and make sure that it's going to succeed, then you can take that. But again, even if you're taking it, take it from established institutions that will not play around with your money and with your future. So debt can be good. I don't say that is generally bad, but I encourage most young people to avoid and stay out of debt. And if you want to build $1 million the normal way without too much stress, stay out of debt. Focus on generating more income, cash flow, investing. Then these millionaires spend less. So somebody would think that all millionaires are flashy and all that thing, but they care about their spending. They spend less than what they earn. They live below their means. They say that they live way below what they're actually able to afford or the kind of life they're able to live. So if you're in a position whereby you think you have like $100,000 a year and therefore you want to live a life that spends over $15,000 a month, you're going to be living above your means despite you earning so much money, right? So you have to live below your means so that you have extra money to save, to invest, and of course try to reach your goals. So all these millionaires who are studied, they live below their means. So if you're thinking you're going to live above your means and still make money, it's going to be difficult unless you're doing something dodgy, which again, we know how that ends. Then something that people hate is budgeting. Most of these millionaires, they budget. They use coupons to shop. Like I said, they live below their means, but then they try as much as possible to utilize the things that would make their life much cheaper and much easier. So they use budgets, control their spending, and they know very well that, okay, in this month, I want to spend this much on food or on entertainment or on this particular thing. So they don't just go spending money aimlessly. And some people do say, oh, I hate budgeting. I say you don't have to actually write it down. You just need to know your major expenses. You need to know the limits. Okay? So there's a way I do it when I'm coaching people with Ken's Money Matters. And remember, I coach people financial management, Forex, whatever you want. Ken's Money Matters. So what you need to do is that you don't need to write things down. If you don't feel like writing things down and tracking them, you need to understand and master your major expenses. And there's a way I teach you to do it that's such that you don't have to feel the burden of budgeting, because what people hate is the budgeting process itself. So all these millionaires, if you want to achieve that status, you have to budget. You have to know where your money is going. You have to know your inflow, your outflow, your expenses. You have to understand every structure of your finances for you to actually get to there. Then the last one is that they stay in control. Have you met people always just feel like everything just happens to them out of nowhere? We are responsible for things that happen to us. Let's not be victims all the time. You are responsible for whatever happened to you. Where you are right now, financially speaking, where you are sitting, is because of the decisions you made. You are fully responsible. Don't go out blaming anyone. Don't complain too much. Focus on staying in control. You have to know that you are in control of your life or your destiny, or what you're not going to get financially speaking. So if you're in control, then we shouldn't even be having a discussion of who did what, where. You don't be always the victim. Most of these millionaires believe they are in control of what happens to them. If the financial decisions go wrong, they are fully in control, they are responsible, they take control of the situation and get out of it. The idea of being victims, the idea of portraying yourself as someone who is always, the lower side, the weak one, the person who is taken advantage of, it's not going to help you. You have to stay in control of your life, make decisions that are favorable to you, and be responsible. So staying in control here is whereby you know exactly what you're doing, where you're going to, how you're going to get there, and everything around it. Whatever goes wrong, you take responsibility, you find ways to fix it. No victimhood. Stay in control of your life, guys. And these are the 5 points that would then put you on the path to being an everyday dollar millionaire. You're an everyday dollar millionaire. Nobody would know it, but you know what? You have just worked your way through it. You didn't make any crazy money. You didn't make any crazy deals. You didn't get any luck, no inheritance. And what happens? You still made it to the big men's table or big women's table. So guys, I hope this is helpful. This is just a short video to tell you what dollar millionaires require. If you want to be on that level, if you want to get there, there are a few things you need to have. There are a few features you need to fully control, and these are the features. You have to, investing, staying out of debt, staying in control, of course. Spend less than you earn and budget, and you will be fine. These are the 5 things you need to get to the table of dollar millionaires. Otherwise, until next time, see you guys and out.